Hey, I'm so glad you're here. Look right over here at the screen. Get those ears ready to listen. Check that your hands and feet are still. Looks like you're ready. Let's get started. The day that Peter healed the crippled man at the temple was quite an interesting day, but it was about to get even more interesting. After healing the crippled man in Jesus' name, Peter began to teach everyone at the temple about Jesus. He told them about how Jesus had come to earth, died, and then rose again. Many people were listening, and many were beginning to believe in Jesus. This upset the priests at the temple. They feared this would happen. At first, they tried to stop Peter by arguing with him, but he would not be silenced. So they arrested Peter and John and took them to prison. The next morning, there was a big meeting of the temple leaders. Peter and John were brought in to be questioned. Caiaphas and other high priests were there. These men were the same leaders who put Jesus on trial, which led to his crucifixion. The priest said to Peter and John, "How did you heal this crippled man?" Peter said, "He was healed by the power of Jesus." The priests wanted to argue with Peter, but they couldn't because the very man they healed was standing right beside them, ready to back them up with the truth. The priests met together privately and then told Peter and John they could go, but not to talk about Jesus anymore. Peter and the other followers of Jesus had no intention of staying silent about the love of Jesus. Let's say today's bottom line: always share Jesus together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Always share Jesus. Because the good news was spreading, the church kept growing. God empowered the followers of Jesus to do amazing things. People were saved, miracles took place. People were healed of illness. This made the leaders of the temple very jealous. Once again, they had Peter and John arrested. They were thrown into prison. Surely this would silence these two followers of Jesus. Nope. That night, an angel came to the prison and helped Peter and John escape. He said to them, "Go back to the temple and continue telling people about Jesus." Peter and John were not afraid. They obeyed and went back to the temple and began teaching again. The next morning, when the priests met together to decide what to do with Peter and John, they were in for a big surprise. During their meeting, they received word that the men were not in prison anymore and that they were at the temple sharing Jesus again. The priests could not believe it. They were angry enough that they wanted to have these disciples killed, but they were afraid the people would riot. In their hearts, the priests were probably beginning to realize that there was something real about Jesus. The priests decided they would let the men go, but first they had them beaten with whips. Ouch! I'm sure that hurt, but they were happy to do anything it took to share the love of Jesus and to build his church. They were willing to share Jesus at any cost. Let's say today's bottom line: always share Jesus together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Always share Jesus. Can you tell someone you know about Jesus? Be brave and willing to share the good news. Thanks for joining me today.